to continue section 20.2 on developing a career plan. So our objectives this section are to name 4 sources where you can learn about careers, describe some aspects of the working world that may affect a worker, define short, medium, and long-term goals, and identify the 3 lists needed to make a career plan. So the first thing we want to do is find some information about careers. So there's different places that you can go in order to find information about some potential careers. Written resources. So in the library, there's going to be some resources that are going to help you with career planning. Talk about different types of jobs, such as being a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher, as well as on the internet. Of course, there's a wealth of information available on the internet. And then there's a book called the Occupational Outlook Handbook, or OOH for short, and this describes hundreds of jobs. It lists the fastest growing fields and gives addresses of places to write for more information. Now, I'm not sure if this is something we have in our library or not, but we could check it out. You also have career counselors. A career counselor is someone who is trained specifically to provide information and guidance on choosing a career. So they may also help you learn more about your interests and abilities. Usually the first thing that a career counselor does is give you a personality and aptitude test, an interest and aptitude test, to see what are you interested in and what are you capable of doing. And then a third way is networks. So we call this networking, which is the practice of building informal relationships with people whose friendships could bring advantages such as jobs or business opportunities. I know for me personally, I have met so many people as becoming a teacher that now work in schools across the world that anytime I'm interested in looking for a new job, I have this huge network of friends that I can talk to about what's it like living in their country, what's it like working for their school, do they have positions available. When math positions open up, I get lots of emails saying, hey, when are you done in Korea? You want to come talk to us next? So, networking is really, really important, and you just never know who's going to be able to provide you with that into a company or field that you're interested in. That's why it's good to never burn your bridges. All right, and then of course the last way is through work. The best way to learn about a career is to actually do the job. One way we have of doing that is job shadowing. So new employees are going to follow another worker on the job for a few days and kind of see what it is they do. Another way that's really popular, especially when you're in university, is called an internship. And an internship is temporary work that usually is unpaid, but sometimes might pay you like a minimum wage or something like that. And that involves direct work experience in a career field. And usually you have a mentor at that company that you would work with to be able to ask questions of and learn really hands-on experience whether or not this is a choice that you're interested in. And then, of course, you have volunteerism, where you would work without pay for any amount of time to basically volunteer for a company that you're interested in and just get some experience. You may not get paid for it, but at least you're getting that experience that's going to be necessary down the road. All right, so understanding the working world. There's some things we should know about that's going to help you and affect you at some point during your career. So the first thing we want to talk about is the career ladder. So a career ladder is a series of jobs within your career. So you're going to start out most likely with some sort of entry-level job, which is suitable for a worker who's new to a job, field, or subject. So from here, then you would be promoted to a new job or a higher level with more responsibilities. And continually improving your skills will help you to succeed by climbing the career ladder. All right, so another thing that's going to understand about work that you've got to be aware could happen is called outsourcing. So from the U.S. perspective, we think of this as when U.S. companies face global competition for sales, U.S. workers face the global competition for the jobs. So a lot of U.S. firms outsource their work to other countries. I know this firsthand from customer service. If I call my credit card company, I'm not necessarily going to reach somebody in the United States. I might reach somebody in India or in Bangladesh. Usually it seems like you reach a lot of people in India because it's a very populous country with a high technology field. But I could be reaching somebody who's not available, not in the U.S. So that's called outsourcing. Outsourcing is using outside sources to do tasks that are traditionally handled by internal staff. And the reason why is it usually is done to cut costs. I know in the United States it's done because hiring somebody from a country such as India, where you don't have to pay as much to handle basic customer service jobs, is going to be different than having to pay somebody in the US a competitive wage. So that's one of the reasons why companies normally outsource their employment. And then, of course, there's supply and demand. We know of supply and demand as they affect the prices of goods and services, but it can also affect the job market. If there are more qualified people for jobs than there are openings for a job, then it's going to be difficult for a worker to get a position. And then people who have special skills, talents, or knowledge are also highly sought after for their jobs. The more demand there is for a worker's set of skills, the easier it will be for him or her to get a job. I know as a teacher, being a math teacher, my field for education is actually one of the most highly sought professions. I actually don't have a hard time trying to find a new job if necessary, because most places need a math teacher. And so when I go to job fairs or look at job postings, there's usually 3 or 4 times as many positions for math teachers than there are for something such as history or art or something like that. So I have a set of skills that are highly demanded because every school needs a teacher, needs a math teacher. All right, and then the last thing we want to talk about when we are talking, not the last thing, but close to the last thing, career planning is you've got to set some goals. We want to be able to set and reach some other goals. And so we can define these as 3 different types of goals. We have short-term goals, medium-term, and long-term goals. So a short-term goal is something that you would start and reach rather quickly. And then a medium-term goal is something that's usually a bit more challenging and is going to take a little bit longer to achieve. And then a long-term goal may take a really long time to reach, multiple years possibly. So short-term and medium-term goals could be used in order to help you reach that long-term goal. And when you're setting goals, you want to be as specific as you can, because by making it specific, it makes the goal easier to aim for and achieve because it's more realistic and concrete. You have something specific to aim for versus something generic. Like, I want to do better in math, or I want to make a B+ or higher on my next test. If you do better, and if you're going from an F to a D, that's doing better, but make it more specific so you feel that sense of achievement. All right, so to help us do that, this is all leading up to helping us make a career plan. So as you can see, making a career plan is going to take some effort. And you can create one now, and you're going to kind of do this for your project, your Unit 8 project. Unit 7 project. This is a good way to help prepare for future career decisions. So the first thing we want to do is plot our career choice. So now that we've seen the process of career planning, we want to get started with our own career. And you're going to start off by writing your ultimate goal on a sheet of paper. So I kind of want everybody to do this and bring it into class. Then use the library and internet resources to research and make 3 lists. So you can also talk to your teachers, myself included, school counselors, and family members to help you with this career planning. So the first list is going to be your graduation plan. Here you want to identify and select current courses, activities, and experience related to your career goal. This list could lead to a specific career choice. Your second list is going to be your education and training plan. Here you want to detail the education or training you're going to need after high school. Be specific. List and explain your education and training alternatives, including courses you might take and certificates or degrees you must earn. So if you want to be a doctor, what do you need to do? What kind of undergraduate degree do you need to do? What kind of tests do you need to pass? What kind of graduate school programs do you need to look at? So on and so forth. And then your third list is your experience plan. Note experiences that will lead to a specific career choice. Include internships and volunteer, part-time, and temporary jobs. So what experiences do you need? And then finally, once your lists are complete, determine whether each of the items listed is a short-term, medium-term, or long-term goal. And chart your goals in the order in which they will happen. So make that list, kind of like a timeline. I'm going to do this, then this, then this. Some people call this maybe their 5-year plan or their 10-year plan. So what will you do 1 year, 3 year, or 5 years from now? And how long is it going to take you to reach your ultimate goal? And then lastly, achieving your goals. The more specific and realistic your goals are, the more likely you are to achieve them. However, your goals and the time you spend on them may change over time. If you're not reaching your goals, don't lose motivation. Find out why you're stuck. As you review and revise your goals, you must also renew your motivation. The most important thing is to have a plan that gets you moving to your ultimate career goal. So I put on the slideshow SMART goals. When you set SMART goals, you make them specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So time-bound means within 1 month, 6 months, 5 years, I will do blah, 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 and whatever your goal is. So make it specific, make it measurable, and make it attainable and realistic. I have no basketball skills, so it is not realistic for me to say I'm going to make the WNBA team for Houston, although I don't think we even have a team in Houston anymore. So that would be really highly unrealistic. So again, goal planning is the key to success in life, not just careers, but just any time in life. So let's work on that.